Hey everybody and welcome back. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames and this is Dark Souls Remastered, the Manosphere playthrough, part 11 I do believe. Today's drink of choice is going to be very different. I'm still sick. Took a whole bunch of medication, went to the doctor, feeling a lot better now. But still got kind of that general achiness in my bones and all throughout my body and muscles. And hopped up on medication. I am brewing licorice spice tea. I haven't had this before. It's one of those cheaper tea brands. Just comes in a little tea bag, sachet, whatever you call it. We'll see how it tastes. The last episode, we talked about the second half of how you maintain your frame. So the last two episodes, 9 and 10, really, really good episodes to look into, guys. I would say that of this playthrough, those two episodes are probably the key two, the most important two. Those are two that you really, really want to watch and listen. And the good news is, if you really don't have time to sit and watch it, like you just want to work out or do something else, you can just play the audio and listen to it and get 90% of the value out of it. I don't talk that much about what's happening in the game, believe it or not. I'm mainly talking about what's happening, or mainly talking about the topic of conversation, the Manosphere. And that's where we talk about men's issues, specifically the red pill, and how dating and gender dynamics have radically changed over the past couple decades, and how we as men need to radically change how we approach dating and women and relationships and marriage and prenuptials and divorce and custody and all that stuff. False DV allegations, false sexual assault allegations, the Me Too era of, you know, if I don't like you after we had sex, then you must have raped me era. Which it's sad. It's sad that so many women are using allegations of sexual assault so frivolously because it cheapens the allegations of women who've actually been assaulted. That's why I believe all false allegations should be punished. All false allegations anyone making a false allegation should be arrested. If you have probable cause that the allegation is false, she should be arrested and charged. And I believe she should be charged with a felony as permitted by state law or the country law, depending on where you are. In the U.S., some states even make it a felony. All right, so here we are. Let's go. Actually, let me see if we have the peculiar doll. I think we did run and get it, right? I believe it's going to be in here as a key, right? Yeah, there it is. So let's go to, let's see, Dark Moon Tomb is going to be closest. To the Painted World of Ariamis. Today's topic is going to be about validation seeking and validation seeking behaviors. And if I look at my sheet here, I've actually taken quite a few notes. I didn't write down specifically how not to seek validation, but basically it's just don't do this stuff. So, excuse me, whatever I list in here as validation seeking behavior as a general rule, don't do it. So what is validation seeking? It's just what it sounds like. It's where you seek validation, affirmation, approval from others. We all do it to some degree. When you're a child, you learn to do it because you want your parents to tell you that you did good. You know, you want your parents to make positive statements about you to give you that positive reinforcement. Validation seeking is not so much about doing something to get a thing. Like if you made your bed to get your $5 allowance, I don't put that in the validation seeking department because you're doing that for money, basically. Oh, there we go. That's a really good dexterity weapon, by the way. The Painting Guardian Sword, or whatever it's called. If you do something because you just want people to like you, if you do something because you want somebody to approve of you, if you're doing something because you think someone else will think you're good, you're a good person, you know, validation seeking is all of that type of stuff. Let me give you some examples. That's where when you're a kid, you do something that you didn't have to do, some chore around the house, or you did something in your room, you're like, hey mom, I did this, I cleaned my room, or I did that. And she's like, oh, it's good. Good job. Or good boy, you know? It's the attaboy kind of thing. You're not doing it because it gets you anything tangible or money, finances, a promotion. You're doing it because you just want other people to tell you you're doing a good job, you're a great person, you're a good person, you're nice, you're friendly, you are handsome, you're pretty, whatever the case may be. Women seek validation a lot. I think it's more of a feminine trait. Women seek validation. You know, how's this dress look on me? She wants you to tell her it looks good. She'll tell you that she wants you to be honest, and to some degree that's true. She doesn't want to wear a dress if it truly looks terrible. But women will wear dresses, put on makeup, lose weight, work out, do all this stuff trying to seek validation. The goal, of course, is as men, we improve ourselves for ourselves, not so that someone will be like, attaboy, good job, buddy. But that's not always how it works, is it? So, man, these guys are really fucking annoying today. I'm telling you. Wow, that's how it must feel like to the enemies from me when I jump down all over the place. There we go. This has been the playthrough of getting hit a ton. And I got several Painting Guardian swords, which is crazy. I don't need that. I don't know why I even bothered picking it up. Once you know what all the items are in the game, you can just start ignoring some of them. They're just worthless at that point. And there's one more over here by Iron Tarkus's corpse. Or somebody with his armor. So it's a good heavy armor set to wear. The black iron set. Okay, so validation seeking. You're acting in others' best interest. That's the number one problem with it. It's that you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for somebody else. That's the biggest issue there. You're acting for others, and it opens you up to manipulation. If you are constantly seeking the validation of another person, you're more likely to do what that person wants you to do, even if it's contrary to your best interest, even if it ends up hurting you. So, what's an example of that? Well, if you're married and you seek the validation of your wife, when she tells you that you don't spend enough time with the kids, what are you likely to do? Well, you're likely to go, and as soon as possible, as soon as you reasonably can, what are you going to do? You're going to start spending more time with the kids. So you're going to go start doing some activities with them. What you don't realize is that whether that statement is true or false, and it's very subjective, how much time is enough time? Ask her that question. That's a good way to shut that argument down. If she says, you don't spend enough time with the kids, you really shouldn't have a wife that says that. But if you do, and you're trying to salvage that marriage because you think she's moldable, you can mold her into a better woman, make her act better through your actions. What you can do then is say, well, you know, sweetheart, how much time is enough time? How much time have I spent? And how much time was I supposed to spend? Can you give me those two numbers? Of course she's not going to have those numbers. No one would. She doesn't know what the number is. She probably doesn't know how much time you actually spent with them, and she certainly doesn't have a specific number in mind of how much time you're supposed to spend with them. But she will just say, well, you didn't spend enough. Okay, well, how much time have I spent? Well, I don't know. So anyway, that's a response to that specific accusation, because that's just so common that I wanted you guys to have that in your arsenal. A really good way to shut that down. The alternative is you just walk away and leave. You don't entertain that stupid shit. But, oh yeah, we need arrows, but I'm not going to be able to leave here right now, so whatever. I do have the feather arrows, so let's use those and get this item right here. That's pretty easy to shoot. It's got a large enough hitbox. It's larger than it looks. You're prone to manipulation, and it's the idea that if you don't do X, then you're a bad person. That's the worst case scenario. Do X or you're a bad person. Do X or you're a bad husband. Do X or you're a bad father. Do X or you're a bad man, or you're not a good man. It's all about manipulating and controlling you when other people use your validation-seeking behavior against you. Nobody can use validation-seeking behavior against you if you don't seek validation in the first place. That's the strategy. If you don't seek validation, then it can't be used against you. As soon as we get this, they come down, I think, right? One of them? Yeah, they're there. Two of them. Golly, that did not work out well. I didn't know they could do that when they land. Affect you like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stood right there. No. I'm sorry, but no. I was not in the right spot for that. When she landed, it switched me around, put my character in a different location, and turned me around in a different direction. That's how you know that that was not the right spot for that. So that's a failed hitbox. Dark Souls 2 has tons of those, shit tons of those. And that's why Dark Souls 2 is such a crappy game. Or at least a crappy Souls game, I should say. You know, my timing has just been absolutely horrendous in this playthrough. I need to tighten it up. Get better. So, when it comes to wives, they'll accuse you of being a bad husband and father. Or they'll question your manhood. When it comes to girlfriend, they typically don't mention that you're a bad boyfriend necessarily, but they question your masculinity or manhood. One way they do this is they talk about your genital size, so we'll just put it that way. They insinuate that you're really small. And of course, this is in the era of body positivity, but do they care about? Do they really care about body positivity? No. They have no problem insulting you on the basis of your alleged appearance or alleged length or lack thereof, because it's not about true body positivity. It's about the feminine imperative. It's about not attacking women's bodies. Men's bodies, it's a free-for-all. You can attack them all day long, all you want. When Trump was elected, a lot of these women that specifically pushed the whole body positivity movement attacked Trump on the basis that he's fat and has a small you-know-what. Well, I gotta ask you, is that what a body positivity person would talk about? Would a body positivity person attack that? Of course not, because it's not about that to them. It's just about giving women an advantage over men. Did he drop that? No, they don't drop souls. It was just in here. Okay. So, how do you avoid seeking validation from other people? Well, first of all, you recognize it. When you recognize that you do it, when you recognize how it's done and what it is, you will see it in yourself and you'll... Okay, guys, hang on. I gotta swap the batteries in my controller. It just died. Stand by. Okay. Let me get these back in. I could play with mouse and keyboard, but I haven't done that in so long, and it's just not the best way to play Dark Souls, let me tell you that much. It is definitely not the ideal way to play Dark Souls. Okay, so validation-seeking behavior, you need to recognize it. Once you recognize it, you can more easily stop doing it, and you'll see other people do it too. And when you recognize people using it against you, you will notice when other people try to manipulate you through validation seeking. You'll spot it, and generally it won't work. The better you get, of course, the more you practice, the better you get, and the better you get, the more you see it, and the less likely it is that you'll fall for it. Golly. God, no! I'm gonna waste all of my arrows on this nonsense. Oh well, now that I'm toxified, it doesn't matter. I need to see if there are any others I can hit that are close by here. Yeah, there's one. I thought there was another one. Okay. There we go. So, are there some specific exercises you can use to avoid validation seeking? Probably. I didn't write down any notes on that specifically, but what I did write down were notes on the types of validation seeking behavior that people exhibit, in the responses that they have. So, when you seek validation from others, one of the things that you'll notice that you're doing is you are getting angry when people criticize you. It makes you angry. Whether they're right or wrong, you get upset about it. And the... No. Golly. Whew. And the reason you get mad is because you want approval. When you want approval, nothing makes you more upset than when people exhibit that they don't approve. And the way they exhibit that is by criticizing and telling you you've done something wrong or poorly. There we go. If you don't seek validation, you typically don't get very mad by people criticizing you. The criticisms just, they don't faze you that much. The more they faze you, the more you care about other people's opinions. Not caring what other people think is a true superpower. It is very difficult to actually do that. It's easy to say you don't care. It's very difficult to actually not care. And a very different story. They make it look like you can get down there from here, don't they? You can't. All right. So, if you get mad when people criticize you, you might be seeking validation. Another source, sorry, not source, but another sign of validation seeking is when you change what you believe or what you want to do, when you change your actions for the purposes of making someone else happy. You're concerned about someone else and what they think and how they feel about you, so you change your behavior to better match what you anticipate they'll want out of you. If you don't seek others' validation, then you generally don't feel the need to change your behavior for them. There are, of course, some circumstances where that's not exactly the case, like your boss. You might pretty much have to change it when you have a boss that tells you he needs you to do something at work, and you need the job, right? So that's a little different. We're talking about just relationships where this individual does not have direct power over you. If they don't have direct power over you, you don't worry about what they think. And if you care what they think, you don't care so much that you'll change yourself to fit them. The other thing about people who seek validation is they have trouble saying no. They have trouble saying no because they're worried that someone will not approve of them if they don't do what they want them to do. So when someone... I'm going to try this tea, guys. Here we go. Licorice spice. Wow, that is strong, and I like it. I love black licorice. Really, black licorice is the only real licorice. There is no... I mean, the red licorice stuff is just candy. Black licorice is the only true licorice. Just so you know. It's, I think it's pronounced aniseed. A-N-I-S-E. And that is licorice. Not the red Twizzler junk. That's not licorice. I don't know how to tackle this guy without... I'm just hitting so many wrong buttons in this playthrough. There we go. Oh, and let's do this. Whoops, wrong way. Okay. Another sign that you seek validation from others is that people accuse you, or you feel like a doormat, or people accuse you of being a doormat. It's the idea that you'll let others tell you what to do and you'll do it. You'll let others push you around. You'll kind of let others walk all over you. It's that concept where you're basically, you feel like you're a doormat for people to walk over. And we're going to go get this shield. It's actually a really nice shield, the blood shield. It's all one word, interestingly enough. We don't have to actually kill him, but we're going to, because we can. Oh, he's still up there. That last one was a bit risky. Oh, yeah, it was. Dang it. You gotta be careful, because that's where you can lose... Oh, shoot. What a punk. Do you see him do that? We'll get him on this side. You know, I just realized I was saying that we... Uh-oh. Wow. Oh, shoot. I actually killed him. Okay. That has never happened before. Unfortunately, I didn't open this gate, so we're stuck. We can take the short route, go through the jumping dragon shortcut. Oh, the problem is those other things have respawned, haven't they? Those one doohickeys. Gosh, they have, haven't they? Darn it. Well, you know what? We're just going to have to skip as much of that as possible. And just head straight for our goal here. I guess there's not going to be a dragon scale here for me, is there? You know what? We'll do the skip. We didn't do it last time. Or at least, well, did we? That's a lot of noise. Started getting worried that the dragon was going to reappear somehow. There we go. Oh, and we got the knight. Good. I'd rather have him than not. He's not that tough. Of course, now that I've said it, watch him kill us. Got him. Okay. You know, I talked about not being able to bleed Manus if bleed applies because we had a katana last time, but I forgot this sword does have bleed on it. That's one of the big deals about the barbed straight sword. Another sign of validation-seeking behavior is when you're willing to quietly accept poor service or a poor product and not address the issue. Like, you buy some at a store and there's something wrong with it, but you don't want to take it back because you're like, well, I don't know if I want to take it back and tell them it's broken. You don't want to inconvenience them with it. The idea here is that you're concerned about what they think rather than about the product and whether you got what you deserve or what you should have. Dang. The perfect example of this type of behavior is when you're more concerned with how the waitress will feel than in telling the waitress that your order is wrong. So you're willing to put up with an... Really? What's the blood loss from one attack? Cutting off her tail is extremely difficult sometimes. Finally, we got it. Okay, Solar Priscilla and Priscilla's tail. Oh, there we go. Twin humanities. Now we need to go get some arrows before we forget again. So if you're the type of person where the waitress or waiter will bring you the wrong food, the order's wrong, but you're just going to stay quiet because you really don't want to bother them with it, that may be a sign that you seek validation. You don't want to inconvenience somebody, even when they have actually inconvenienced you. You're more worried about what they think than the fact that they made a mistake. That somebody made a mistake, even if it's not the waitress, it's the cook or whoever. Or you're worried that they're going to think that you're picky or you're being annoying or something of that sort, you know? So the goal is to not overly concern yourself with what other people are thinking, because most likely the waitress doesn't care if you tell them the order's wrong. She'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll take care of it for you. It's happened before, it'll happen again. It's not like they're going to get particularly annoyed at you, and if they do, so what? That's their problem, not yours. Hopefully they don't spit in your food, though, right? Let's do that. Yeah, 3 points. Then we'll repair, and we will warp to Undead Parish and get our arrows. Yeah, this team might be a little strong. A little too strong. Another sign of validation-seeking behavior is you pretend to be interested in something that you're not, just so that you can include yourself in a conversation, or so that the other person thinks that they're more interesting than they are. You're worried that they won't think that they're interesting, or you're worried about whether they're... you're worried about embarrassing other people. Another sign of validation-seeking behavior is you have trouble rejecting other people's offers to you. If someone makes an offer, even if it's not really something that you want, you're more likely to take it. Let's see. Let's do... interesting. You can use the left trigger and right trigger to go up and down with the arrows. But it won't go to this fast mode if you use the trigger, like it does with the D-pad. Let's get 375 just because we can. Alright. That's that. We're gonna go get the Chloranthy ring. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. Where were we going before that? We finished the Painted World. We finished Duke's Archives. We finished Nito. All that's left is finishing the DLC Manus. Let's go try that. And then also Islith, Lost Islith in that whole area. But I also want to get the Chloranthy ring at some point too. So another sign of validation-seeking behavior is that you worry. You constantly worry about what other people think about you. You don't do something because you worry what other people will think. That's a sign of validation-seeking behavior, most likely. Now, some of these can come from other issues, but the goal in all of this is to, you guessed it, not seek others' validation unnecessarily. But of course, like I said, there are certain scenarios where it makes sense. You want to seek the validation of a supervisor for a promotion. You're doing that to get something very tangible, like money, promotion. You're not doing it just to be approved by somebody. So if that's the case, I think that's a totally different story. That's not the same thing. That's not what we're talking about. One of the reasons I'm talking about validation seeking in this episode is because I think it's likely going to be one of the big hangups for why men don't maintain their own frame. If you are not pursuing your goals and your mission, one of the main reasons for that is likely because you're trying to do something for someone else. You're trying to live for someone else. You're trying to get someone else's approval. You are acting in someone else's best interest, not your own. Oh, let's not do that yet. Oh, I've attracted those idiots. Oh my goodness. Come on, fall down here. Sometimes you can get her to fall down. Yep. Oh, okay, that was stupid. Now let's get out of here before all those guys walk on me. Treat me like a doormat. If you don't seek... Oh, I didn't pick this up last time. I just thought about that. If you don't seek validation from others, you're less likely to do what they want and live the life they want you to live. Whether it's your mom, your dad, whether it's your whole family. Maybe you got a family business and they all think you should, be continuing the family business, not because it's in your best interest, but because it's in their best interest that you do the family business thing. Maybe it's your girlfriend. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's coworkers that they don't have any ability to control anything. They can't give you a promotion or anything, but you just want everyone to approve of you. Maybe that's the case. So if that's the case for you, know it, own that, realize it, and then my recommendation is be different and change. Stop seeking that approval. There's one person whose validation you truly need to seek above all else. Apart from the highly religious. Let's say this. There's only the one person on this planet whose validation you need to seek above all others is you know who, right? Take a guess. You know what we've been talking about here. It's, yes, that's right, you. You need to seek your own validation. The question is not, does your mom approve? The question is not, does your dad approve? The question is, do you approve of yourself? Do you approve of yourself and your own actions? Do you approve of what you're doing? Do you approve of the direction you're going in your life? And if you do, that's the validation that you need. Damn, I got both of us hit. Sorry, Sif. It's my bad. Golly, I got caught up in it. There's no way to escape it either. It's a really bullshit combo move. You cannot get out of it once you're in it. No matter the poise, there doesn't seem to be any way out of it. Once you get caught in it, you're caught in it until it's done. Okay, I'm pretty sure I dodged that, but whatever. I dodged that one too. Let's heal up. All right, we need to focus a little more. Conversations on the side. I remember when everyone was trying to break his tail, and then we all found out you can't. Okay, I dodged that one as well, but whatever. Woo, boy. I typically don't use the amulet, guys. I just don't think it's that useful. If you like it, use it, but I don't. Okay, I dodged right into it. My fault. You can hit his arm or his tail, too, so just be aware of that. Those are useful ways to tackle him. It keeps you a little farther from him. Some of these attacks are not making the noise. By the way, most of this stuff will not block him. It looks deceptive. Yeah, this stuff will not block his attacks. Just so you know. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot. I did not mean to turn around. It broke lock-on. I forget the lock-on is shorter down here in the abyss. My bad. Another type of validation-seeking behavior that I've noticed is people will apologize when not only have they not done anything wrong, but the other person actually did something wrong to them. And they apologize because they sense that there's something wrong there, and they just want to mend the relationship, whatever the cost, even if that means that they admit to wrongdoing when they did nothing wrong and they were actually the one who was wronged. There's obviously no reason to apologize to somebody who's done something wrong to you. If they don't want to admit it, okay, then you gotta decide how important is an apology to you. If you don't need that apology, you don't need it. If you do need it and they're refusing to give it to you, they're acting like you did something, then you can go ahead and end that relationship. Just kind of move away from them, or go in a different direction. And ending a relationship, it doesn't always have to be a thing where you tell them personally, like, well, we're done, we're not friends anymore. You just let the relationship fade away. Just really easy, just kind of go your own direction. Or you ghost them. That's the new term I've learned from the millennials. You ghost them. You have nothing to do with them anymore. That's another great strategy that people like to use, and with good reason. Where's Sif's summon sign? What the heck? Oh, yeah, I actually dodged that, but I don't know, something about that. I think the hit actually connects with you before it physically looks like it connects. There's a hitbox that's just prior to the attack. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. What the heck? Is Sif not here? Wait, do I need to be in human form to summon him? I didn't think you had to be. Let's see if I can just tackle him solo. Oh, that's a bad move there because the hitbox lingers on it. Oh, I reached the edge here. Woo! Oh, see. I mean, the only saving grace of that move is that it doesn't actually do that much damage. It does surprisingly little damage. Okay, my character went sideways during a roll. Not sure what that's about. Okay. This move, guys, total and utter bullshit. It's one of those Dark Souls 2 style moves that gets you when it doesn't really connect. I don't know what's going on, Doc. I don't know what's going on. None of this is making any sense to me. I am hitting the button in time. I just am not getting a response from the game. This is why I get the 20 Estus, because this guy can be full of the bullshit. Right there, you could physically see he was nowhere near me when I got hit. His entire body was a couple feet, game feet away from me during that hit. So, just doesn't make sense. Oh, he got me. Yep, there's... You just might as well... this is the problem I have with Dark Souls 2. Is this style stuff. Even though this is Dark Souls 1, I know. But Dark Souls 2 would have all those attacks where you just get stuck in them, and you might as well set the controller down. There's just no point. You have no control over your character anymore. We gotta focus. Okay, that did not touch me, but whatever. That one actually didn't either. I was inside the arm, so a lot of issues there I have with hitbox detection on this guy. If you go back and slow the video down, which YouTube allows you to do, and look at where I was and where his arm moved, there was no physical connection there. So that's one of my main... So I guess you have to be in human form to get Sif. I didn't realize that. I thought Sif came whether you're human or not. I don't know if they've changed that or if I just totally missed his summon sign the entire time. I don't know what's going on. One of the other things that sometimes comes from validation seeking, I think this is more something women do than men, is they'll actually get upset when they don't get... Whoops, wrong way. They'll get upset when they don't get compliments that they expected. And that could be from anybody. Like maybe they wear a really nice outfit and dress up and do their hair and makeup, and none of their girlfriends, their guy, family, nobody mentions it. Nobody says something to her. Women that validation seek will get upset over that. Men, not so much. Men typically don't seek compliments so much. But some guys will be upset if they do like a really good job at work or if they do something and they don't feel like they get noticed. So, again, validation seeking, not something you want to do. One of the biggest problems with validation seeking is that not only is it a beta behavior, but it's a display of lower value. You wouldn't seek validation from somebody if you didn't perceive them to be slightly above you on the value scale or having some sort of authority or control or something. Like if you sought validation from a teacher, it's the idea that the teacher knows more than you do. So yeah, it looks like you got to be in human form to summon. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't think that was the case. Manus, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's try this again. You know what I might want to do is put on some heavier armor. Well, no, then I won't fast roll. We'll keep going. Although, I think what could be helpful is to have the ninja ring. And I'm trying to think of how do you get the ninja ring? Yeah, I realized I don't know how you get the ninja ring. I haven't gotten it in so long. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to Alt-Tab. So you saw me tab out there. And Dark Souls, Dark Wood Grain Ring. I just remembered what it was called. I was going to type Ninja Ring and figure it'll pop up. Acquired from, drops from the ninja bodyguard that follows the merchant Shiva of the East. Okay, so I have to join the Force Hunter Covenant first and then attack his bodyguard. That's right. I remember now. Back in the game. Let's do it. Let's go get that. I haven't done that in a while. Undead Parish. There we go. All right. I'm slightly quieter here just because my voice is getting tired. Not so much my voice, my throat from being sick. But when you seek validation from the right source, which is just you, the goal here is not to be like selfishly, brutishly careless and mindless about others' needs and what others want, or whether you're affecting others in a negative way. But the idea is that you're putting your priorities first. And that's what most people typically do if they don't have the problem of trying to be a nice guy, or trying to seek others' validation, or trying to be everybody's buddy. You don't want to be the careless brute that just doesn't care about others at all. But what you don't want to be is everybody's buddy, because we talked about that before, about the example of the guy I know from work that tries to be everybody's buddy and ultimately is not respected for it. One thing that is sort of like this paradox is that people often seek validation because they want respect, not realizing that by being a validation seeker, they will get less respect because of the behavior they're doing, thinking that they're going to get respect for doing it. It's all contrary to what you would imagine, or the way you think things should go. So the best way to avoid seeking validation, like I said, we've talked about it, focus on what you want. Worry about whether you approve of it. Stop thinking about what others feel, or what you think they feel, or how you think they... Oh, shoot, I just about walked right off the edge. That was really close. Hang on, let me Alt-Tab out real quick and bring something else up on my second monitor. We're back. You don't want to be concerned with what this person thinks, what that person thinks. What will they do if I do this? What will they think of me? Will they be mad? Will my mother be mad with me if I don't blah, 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 blah? Or will my dad be angry with me? You know, those are the kind of things you want to set aside. You want to set aside those thoughts and just stop thinking them. And I know it's easier said than done in some cases, but you just have to push it out of your mind. You have to push it out of your thoughts. If you come back to that thought of, well, gee, what would they think? Just stop it. Just cut it off right there. Obviously, you can't focus on not thinking about something because then you're thinking about it. You just think about other things. Oh, I didn't realize they just popped up immediately. That's interesting. Actually, let me do this. Oh. Okay. Oh. We'll come back in and pick it up. I forgot, you know, my normal progression through Dark Souls, there are so many things I don't get. Some areas, some parts of some areas I don't see. Okay, now he's mad at me. His armor set is interesting. Kind of weird, but interesting. When he starts talking there, it actually disables what buttons you can press, although he continues to attack you. So that's a really cheap maneuver right there, in my opinion. Let's get Ferris Bow. I'm surprised I haven't thought about that yet. Since we're using a bow, Ferris Bow is a great way to go. And just so I don't run into any problems, I'm going to take this guy out in case I have to back up. I don't want him coming at me from behind here. So again, guys, put the focus on you. Worry about you and your things and your goals and your ambitions. Worry about what you think of what you're doing. Far more than you would ever worry about what your mom or dad or girlfriend or wife or boss or supervisor thinks. When it comes to personal stuff and to the extent possible. Obviously, like I said, if you're looking for a promotion, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, that's a different story there. Got him. Nice. It's, you know, it's unfortunate that these guys don't drop anything. They should drop humanity at the very least. They just dropped nothing. It feels kind of cheap. At least you get some souls for it, right? Ooh, I got lucky and happened to be right at his back there. Ferris is back there, so we gotta be careful. She's gonna get us. I think it's a she. It might be a he, actually. Oh, cool. I think Ferris is one of them that likes to run away from you and can be a pain to try to chase. And we can wear her hat if we want to. Where's that hat at? There it is. And then the Ferris bow, which we'll upgrade shortly. Uh-oh. I was not expecting any invasions here. Sharp Nose has invaded. Alright, Sharp Nose. Why not? You know, I used to sit in the forest and fight invaders all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do. I had so many videos and live streams of me just being here fighting people. Well, here's the chance to do it again. By the way, guys, if you're applying all the advice I'm giving, slowly but surely, you will stop worrying about a lot of these other issues that we bring up, like validation seeking. If from the last 2 episodes, 9 and 10, if you put everything together to maintain your frame, as we discussed, then you'll do a lot less of that validation seeking. That just won't be as big an issue for you. Because when you're maintaining your frame, when you're doing things your way, you just typically won't seek validation from people. And, you know, given how much of an unattractive prospect it is to seek others' validation, if you're trying to be alpha, that's definitely not something you want to do, obviously. Well, while they're fighting each other, I'm going to go take out this guy. Oh, shoot. There we go. I gotta be careful here. These guys are they're all in it, man. They're all in it. Woo! Got him. That little twist around for the backstab, you know? Oh, shoot. Oh, darn it. That really should have been a backstab. I don't know why it wasn't. Alright. We got what we came for, gentlemen. We got what we came for. Okay, so we need to give up something. I think what we'll give up is the armor. How about that? So we'll do the Dark Wood Grain Ring, and yeah, we need to have very low equip load for that to work. Wait, hang on, what? We'll go back to the target shield. There we go. Okay, that did it. We'll equip the regular excuse me, set. And let's go upgrade our target shield to the best of our ability. Alright, we're getting set up here. This is essentially going to be a quality build character, which means I can use almost all melee weapons that don't involve any sort of magic. They don't have a faith intelligence element to them. That's one of the benefits of a quality build. Fairly even strength and dexterity. Probably a little more on dexterity than strength in most cases. Let's see. The target shield, I need 3 Titanite shards. Okay. Interesting. The Gravelord Servant here? What? I don't know why it would be here. Alright, let's take care of some business. Some housekeeping stuff. Yeah, this is catching up to me. I also want to see what we need to upgrade Ferris bow. Okay, it's regular Titanite path. All right. So we will oh, I feel a sneeze coming on, gentlemen. I'll try to resist. All right, let's upgrade further here. We will probably be done after we do this upgrading. We'll end this episode after that, I think. But this episode was all about the validation seeking. You know, I should probably put the topics on the videos now that I have more concrete topics to discuss. Put it in the video titles, or at least in the description. It will make the video's titles really long. But, okay, good. I can upgrade each of these one step to 6. And then we'll go and get more large Titanite, which I think we can buy from... who sells those? Well, you know, we can farm them in Ulisil Township. Let's actually go... You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to go get the covetous gold serpent ring, which I don't think we have, and farm them in the township. Yeah, let's go do that. That sounds like a fun idea. I'm surprised I don't have it. I usually take the time to get the covetous gold serpent ring, even if I never use it. Just so we can have it on hand. Oh, excuse me, I'm fighting off this sneeze here, guys. Oh, I did not see him coming. There we go. Oh, I was too far away for that, but not for that one. All right, so what are you guys' thoughts on the topic of validation seeking? This hasn't been what I feel like is my most exciting episode. It's a subject I wanted to talk about, but it's not one I particularly felt all that attached to. You'll notice when I talked about maintaining your frame, that topic and the topics surrounding it were far more interesting to me. I had a lot more to say about them, a lot more experience with them, but that's okay. Not everything's going to be the best topic. But this is certainly of value. I think a lot of people out there are seeking validation from others when they don't need to be, and they'll get a lot of value out of the conversation we had today. So if you've sought validation in the past, I want you to tell me in the comment section below how you've done it. Or if you got over it and you had some little special strategy, I would love to... Oh my. When does that ever happen? That virtually never happens to me. Interesting. All right, we'll try again. We have about 7 minutes left in this episode. I think that's enough time to do it. We might make a mad dash for it if possible. Now, I can't think of a lot of validation seeking I do nowadays. I'm sure I have done some, but just, you know, once you start focusing on your frame, once you start focusing on your mission, once you start trying to set up everything you want to do in your life, all that other stuff tends to fall to the wayside. So, I think that's, oh shoot. I think that's just an example of all of this sort of being interconnected. It's all sort of intertwined. You can't do one without the other. You cannot eliminate all validation seeking and not be getting your frame in order, and you can't get your frame in order not eliminate validation seeking. So the connections between them are just too tight for it not to all to matter together, if that makes any sense. I think it made sense. Oh look, he's gonna follow me up here. Okay. Whoops, I meant to parry that one. And let's send him on down. And there he goes. Oh, I never noticed you can see the Titanite demon from here. Interesting. Oh, seriously? Are the balls still rolling the other way? Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to think that they converted it over, that somehow it got moved again and would come back this way. But I guess not. At least not this time. Alright, we're almost there, guys. You know, I do like using the target shield. It's nice to have this little tiny shield with an advanced parry animation. Not bad at all, right? And we're just going to follow this down. We don't have to follow it too closely, otherwise we'll get hit by it. And we're going to stand here. You have to actually watch this happen or be very close to it, otherwise it won't happen. I mean, I don't know how those physics work, but whether you're up at the top or down at the bottom watching it, obviously that hole should fill up and then the ball should go by it. This is taking longer than usual. 2 more. While that's happening, let's go get the lightning spear that we don't need and don't plan on ever using. There we go. That's actually a great weapon if you haven't upgraded sufficiently by this point in the game. Then that'll be a great weapon you can use in place of what should have been your upgraded weapon. So I think they put it there very intentionally to give you something to use in case you didn't realize you were supposed to be upgrading. Which I think is awesome. Alright, hopefully when we pick it up in the next episode, excuse me, I remember where we were and what we were supposed to be doing. I'm going to put myself at the Ulasil Township bonfire and hope that I just kind of know what I was planning on doing. Sometimes there are days in between these playthroughs. Sometimes there's like minutes in between the playthroughs. It just depends on what I'm doing. But by putting myself there, hopefully that jogs my memory as to what I intended to do. So, I hope you guys have learned something and don't seek out validation from others, but seek validation from yourself for the goals that you have. We're going to go ahead and call it at this, about 57 minutes in. Perfect time, I think. Great time for this new episode length. Let's go ahead and wear the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring and put us here. I'm Fox of FoxeoGames. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. All my other social media links, but Twitter is where I'm most active. Links are in the description. Maintain your frame, guys, and I will see you next time. Later, everybody.